I don't do town halls because I think it's just an opportunity for people to yell at their member of Congress.
It's hard out there for elected Republicans like Virginia Foxx of North Carolina. Between Elon Musk and Donald Trump chainsawing the federal government, the stock market hit from Trump's trade wars, and fears of cuts to Social Security and Medicare, voters are making it clear that this is not what they voted for.
I was proud to vote recently for the House budget resolution, which provides the framework Yep. And you wonder why folks don't want to do these town halls.
But Democrats are more than happy to hear from voters, including our next guest, Congressman Paul Tonka, who held a town hall tonight in Schenectady, New York. Joining us now is Democratic Congressman Paul Tonka of New York. He serves on the Energy and Commerce Committee. Congressman, what did you hear from your constituents at today's town hall?
Well, they're certainly very angry and frightened by the fact that someone that has not been elected, who happens to be the richest man in the world, is taking a chainsaw against programs like Medicaid, Social Security, education. They want to know that Congress is involved. And the circumvention of Congress and the House of Representatives, where I serve, is a very telling aspect of this administration. We need to do this effort for efficiency in a way that is a collaborative, that assigns the responsibilities of the power of the purse with the House of Representatives and act accordingly. And they're angry about that. They're frightened. There are concerns that people have with Medicaid being slashed to the tune of $880 billion, if not $1.5 trillion. They think that there's a great bit of pain and consequence coming with the efforts being made right now by the Trump and Musk team that is really unwelcomed.
Congressman Tonka, what do you make of the latest NBC News poll showing the Democratic Party's popularity is at a record low?
I think there needs to be a stronger message. I think there needs to be a forcefulness about, the core soul of this party, which is about working families, which is about providing for a quality of life, making certain that there are job opportunities that pay well, provide benefits, and that they can retire in comfort. And that's the sole message, I think, of the party. And we need to echo that message, especially in these troubling times where these efforts that range from Social Security to Medicare to Medicaid that have been part of the Democratic Party and its principles are maintained and underpinned so that they're there for future generations.
Congressman Tonka, you talked about the $880 billion in spending, as you say, it could be as high as $1.5 trillion cuts to Medicaid. What do you tell voters who are worried about those potential cuts to Medicaid?
Well, we let them know that we're doing everything we can from hosting these town halls, and I think they're important. The people's voices need to be heard, especially in this really chaotic situation where we find a trifecta of Republican leadership and a denouncement, a disregard for the Constitution and the lack of rule of law. So I think we tell them to continue to raise their voices, attend these efforts that really speak forcefully to the actions being taken in Washington, that they're unacceptable, and that we'll continue to raise our voices in Washington and use the power of the public to reinforce that message and to continue to raise efforts through the litigation on a number of these issues challenging the outcome. We've been successful to a degree to this point, but there's a lot of work ahead of us, and the real efforts are coming before us now as we attempt to put the next budget together.
One more question for you, Congressman Tonka. Are voters feeling that Trump is not delivering on lower prices? What are your constituents telling you in that regard?
Well, they certainly want us to tackle inflation. They want us to lower costs. They want us to provide for a better outcome, a better quality of life. They don't believe they're getting that from this administration, and it's promises made and promises not kept. And, the focus hasn't been on the economy or lowering costs or addressing inflation. It's been on issues of, addressing Greenland and purchasing Greenland and making Canada our next state and, renaming the Gulf of Mexico. These are not what the people wanted. These are not the priorities they expressed during this campaign. And this is an utter failure. So walking away from the wishes of the people and then carving deeply into programs that really have been the standard of care, healthcare that is so much an essential right, is being threatened today because of that huge axe taken to Medicaid, which will be very, very painful, unrealistic what they've assigned us. I serve on the Budget Committee along with Energy and Commerce, and I watched 32 amendments offered by the Democrats, all rejected, to make this budget bill a better bill. And that failure, again, is just another repeat of not allowing the voices of everyone in Congress to be heard.
Congressman Paul Tonko of New York, thank you very much for coming to The Last Word.
Jonathan, a pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity.